Hey everybody, it's Mike from Landon Customs. We just got the Thunderbird home. I had Kim Barrows from Barrows Garage. I had Steven from Steven Holtz just drive it. Him and his boys come down and help me get this home. They're up here visiting Barrows and I. So here's what we're going to do first. Kind of cleaned this off some. So we're going to take that and vacuum it off a little bit better, and then we're going to vacuum all the mouse stuff off the motor. Okay, try to get things as clean as we can here. There's some junk down in this air cleaner. It all out. We're going to get this thing ready to start. Told Steven I'd have it running tonight. Get some of the crap out of here. We don't have it dripping down in our motor there. You can get a new insulation piece for that. I think the mice actually got up in there and had a little house in the insulation. What happens is leave cars sit out in the middle of fields and junk. Yeah, I'll just plug my vacuum up. Have to get that all unplugged. Guess we'll move on for a little bit. Get some of this bigger stuff out of here by hand. Once I get it all together and cleaned up some, we'll clean some off with the hose and probably pressure washer. This old Edelbrock 4300, we're not even going to mess with it. I'm going to put the original carb back on my 62, and we're going to put this one on this. It'll wake it up and give us some more ponies. So that way we don't have to mess with any of the BS. Okay, got my water here. Stuck my Landon Custom sticker on there. Gotta hydrate when it's in the 90s. You're out here working all the time. Got me some juice here too. Okay, now we replaced some of these spark plug wires. There's actually a spare set in the back. I got my hose here for my vacuum for my distributor. Looks like it's not reaching there or something. Wonder if they had like a T in this or something. But we'll get that figured out. One of the first things we're going to do though, we're going to unbolt this old Autolite 4300. Looks like it's got the 7/16 bolts on it. They say this system I think is quite full of varnish, so we're probably gonna have to pull out the whole thing. Hold on, I'm gonna go get my shop vac so we can try to get this better. Okay, so I went and got my vacuum unplugged, got the carburetor off here, got the everything vacuumed off fairly well up here. It needs a good scrubbing with a wire brush and gone through. So we don't have any brakes right now, so I got a bottle of .3 brake fluid. We're gonna come over here and fill this reservoir up. It's even hard to get the top off of it, it's so dry. Nice and clean inside, looks like new. I gotta check the mileage on this car. It's original miles. They even still have the clips on the rear end. that they put on at the factory to hold the drums in. So I don't think it has a lot of miles on it. We're going to put that on there, and then we're just going to set this over the top. I can already see it bubbling. A lot of the time it'll suck the brake fluid back down. So we're going to give it some pumping, see if we can get our brakes back. Let all the way off the pedal when you come up. Pump it kind of slow. Okay, well, we're going to let that sit for a little while. Maybe some more will bubble down in there. And I don't want it to sit here forever while you guys are waiting. So let's see. I don't know that we're going to need this spacer for this carburetor. Oh, and the other thing I don't think we're going to need is this vacuum line. It's got one on there. So twist that off, and I'm going to get a vacuum cap for now. I'll be right back. I got to grab my box of vacuum caps. Another part where a lot of people mess up, before you ever put fuel to this motor, you want to sit and crank and crank and crank it, okay? If you do that, then you can get the oil circulated through the system. If you hit it and it just fires and you just crank it up high RPMs, you can totally mess some stuff up real quick. Now this carburetor actually has some stuff on it you can't even get anymore. It has the stock kick down for this carburetor on it. Or this motor. Dang things in the way for the old automatic choke. Might have to run our spacer just to get us up off that. But then I don't know if the roof or the hood will close. Also don't know if these bolts are long enough for that spacer that I got here. Yeah, no, these aren't long enough bolts. I'd have to swap them out. So yeah, I might have to unhook the old choke stuff here. That just takes 2 bolts there, and I already got the socket on here. Well, they just broke off. How about that? One bolt just snapped right off. The other one's good. This thing doesn't even have that much torque. Drop the other bolt down there. Pick it up. Okay, and we'll pull that. All it is a thermal piece that sits down in there. Works my other, got a little coil on here and stuff. And it makes your choke work with the heat off the motor. All you do is break everything off of it and just have a little plate to cover that hole. Or make us a little plate. Okay, so we're going to set this on here. I don't even know where that spring was at for the carburetor. Yeah, this carburetor's got fuel in it right now. Okay. So now, We can get down below all this crap. Let's see here. What are we catching on, huh? One side's hanging up a little. I don't see anything really catching that catches, you know. Okay, got my vacuum cap knocked off there, and I might have knocked a freaking bolt off, or nut. I might have to go grab one off my T-Bird, and my other T-Bird, and we'll put it on there for now. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna be back. Okay, so what we got going on back there is my clamp that they got on the vacuum hose there is hitting the vacuum line for my carburetor. So I just gotta loosen it up and move the clamp around. And that's it. All it is for your PCV. You use the right hose and you have a tight hose, don't even need a clamp on there. Okay. Now let's see what she's doing. Oh, gotta flip my stupid linkage deal over here. It's getting wrapped around underneath there. Okay. Stupid transmission linkage. Something's always trying to get you stopped up there. Okay. Now we'll put that one on. And I don't know what I did with that other one again. We'll find it here in a second. Knocked my vacuum cap off this one piece here down in the bottom. Okay. Got my other hose out of the way a little bit so my 4-barrel can open. Oh, there's my nut right there. Okay, now we're gonna get my freaking power wrench here. Torque this sucker down on there. There she's starting to go. And get a different one. Okay. There we go. And get the back ones. Yeah, we're gonna make this baby pay. These old gaskets that are on here, are left on here because the newer ones, they're so thin they don't like to seal right. These things are tiny, they're like paper. The other ones are thicker, like this more. I think one on there is way thicker than that even. So now we got a carburetor on there that we know is clean, works, and will fit this car and work. Now we're gonna suck on this for a vacuum advance. Make sure it's not locked up. Diaphragm is gone. So that's one thing we're going to need to replace. But we're not worried about our vacuum advance. At the moment, it'll start without it. Then this is about 2 or 3 inches short. I'm going to take and hook, undo this other vacuum hose here. We're going to take it off. Replace it with a vacuum cap. Got a couple things here we're going to vacuum cap right there. Make sure you get the right size. A little tiny one here. Oh, you want them nice and tight so that they don't leak. If you see any old vacuum caps, you probably want to just change them, because these things, they literally just get old and break. That one wasn't very tight on there. We'll put a new one on there. If I don't need any of those vacuum ports there, eventually we'll just find a plug that size, put a plug in there to block it off. But yeah, like this is our transmission kick down. We can run that over here. We get our other throttle stuff out of the way. We might have to move our one throttle cable to get it over there. But like I say, we're not worried about it for now. We're just going to try to start the car. What I might have to do is get my boat tank and hook up to here so I can pump that full of gas and just use that for now for a first start. And we have checked the oil. I haven't changed the oil yet, and it's set for a long time. That's not good. But it is full of good, clean looking oil right to the fill line, so it shouldn't hurt anything. I'm also going to reset this. It doesn't look like it's on right. But yeah, you want to make sure your brakes are good. You want to make sure your coolant system's good. I also have to put two radiator belts on here. The fan belts for the alternator and water pump. And I got to put a clamp back on the bottom hose also. I think they drained all the fluid out of it when they let it sit. And we had to replace this cap right here. Like I say, all the running vacuum lines, all the everything. We can worry about that later. For now, just so to run right, we're going to get one of these smaller vacuum caps, put on that for the vacuum advance, just so we don't have a vacuum leak for now. And then here in a minute, I'm going to get my boat tank hooked up to here, and we'll fire her up and see how she runs. So I got to switch and put this spacer on here, but these aren't tall enough, so I have to take the ones off my other car. And for those of you that don't know how to do that, what you want to do is put both nuts on top of here and wrench them together, and then you take the bottom one and screw them out. So I'm going to go pull those and swap out the studs with the ones on my other T-Bird, and then we'll get back with you guys, because the holes on that spacer aren't big enough for the butterflies on this bigger carburetor. So stay tuned. Okay, it was a fight on this old girl. I cut the lines off the vacuum choke piece and shoved it back in here, sealed it up. I got this old line off. I'm going to hook that to my carburetor on my new one. Well, that just broke off. Guess we'll worry about that in a minute. This old stuff gets so brittle, and I ended up finding some longer, even longer than my T-Bird studs there on an old pickup that I have for parts. So now I can get a good gasket on the bottom here. I'm going to set this on, set this on. This is just a Mr. Gasket, cheapo spacer, like 25 bucks or something. Okay. Put the good gasket I got on here. The bottom gasket on here is pretty good. I was going to look at this other one. Might actually, no. Yeah, might actually, I don't know. For right now, we're just going to try it like it is. We got that sealed off, and then we just got to put our carburetor back on. Okay, we're going to move some lines around here shortly, because I can't get my kick down on the other side of my, I believe this one down here is the cruise control. This thing has a cruise control linkage on it. One of these, I don't know. Maybe this top one. I don't see what this top one even hooks to. Oh, maybe our bottom one's just throttle linkage. Yeah, that one goes to the pedal. Okay. It's supposed to have a speed control deal on here too. They might have just took it off. So we'll pop the throttle one on the ball there. And for now, we'll just kind of move this transmission kick down out of the way. And we're gonna, man, might get some washers, I don't know. We'll put these on here for now. Didn't get these nuts threaded. These studs are a little hard to get threaded on this. Okay. These studs might actually be a little long. This thing was really built. Okay, so then I got to tighten this other piece here. They actually took the radiator hoses off and just hooked them together with a piece of hose. That's all that is going across. There's the radiator lines. So I need to tighten that one up with a flathead screwdriver. I know at least one of them's loose and my bottom hose is loose. I like all the radiator lines kind of unhooked. Probably drain it all out. All I'm doing is tightening this clamp. I know I'm giving you a good view of my back. Make sure the other clamp's tight. Make sure that clamp was tight. Make sure this one's tight. We got to put some water in here in a minute and put the belts on. So I got all my nuts on there. We're going to put this on forward and just zip them on. Picking it up there. Okay, suck it down good tight there. Get back here. There's not much gas in the carburetor. You have to put a little gas in her before we get some gas hooked to it before we mess with it. Okay, y'all. I got a boat gas tank over here, and we got some fuel pumped into the carburetor here. It looks like we're getting a bit of squirt there. Could get this transmission kicked down out of my way for a minute. Okay, so we're gonna get a little gas in there. We're gonna hit this solenoid and see if she starts. This thing could have been sitting for like 30 years. The plates on it say 1984, which is when I was born, so almost 40 years. Oh, almost had a backfire. There's the first start of the Thunderbird. Not what I like, but yeah, it started. Hopefully I can get the tank cleaned out and get some fresh fuel in it, and we can run it some more here. Doesn't want to do much at all. Give her some good gas here. What is it? We might need to check a few more things out, but she will run. Thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one. There we go. I just had to human fuel pump it some more. Pump on my boat tank. That's what I'm pumping it up with. right down now. Good stuff. Quit smoking now too. When it first fired, it was smoking a bit. Like I say, it's last registered in '84, so they could have parked that thing there about 39 years ago. I haven't looked at the odometer to see how many miles it has on it, but we're pretty sure it's original. They have these little things I can show you later. I think Stephen Oates got it in his video. They put them on to hold the brake drums on while they go down the assembly line, and you knock them off the first time you change the brakes, and they've never been taken off. So I don't think this car has very many miles on it, and that's in pretty good shape. Underneath's in good shape. It's pretty clean. Just a little surface rust on the top parts of the car. So here in a little bit, maybe we'll fire this up if we get some brakes going and that, and try to drive it over to Barrow's garage. Quick little short for you guys. Got the T-Bird home. Got this boat tank on here with a little bulb pump. Got this 429 purring like a kitten. She's gonna bite like a cobra though. See what she does if we give her a touch of gas. Oh yeah, first start in probably almost 40 years. We're gonna get this baby purring along and try to take her for a ride here in a little bit. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe.